Hey guys, my name is Gunipudi and you're watching Almost Destiny. If you're somebody who loves to write and wants to get published but doesn't know how, then this video is just for you. I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. In this video, I'll be covering 4 main aspects of getting published. The first is content. The second is types of publishing. Third, marketing. And fourth, the list of publishers. Before you begin writing, it's very important to have a plan. This could mean a random scribble of a storyline or a character sketch, but have something in place so that you know where you want your story or your poem to go. Next, discipline. It's very important that you're disciplined throughout this journey of writing, and that means writing for at least 15 to 30 minutes in a day so that you don't lose the flow of what you've already written. Then, obviously, editing. This is by far the most boring but also the most vital aspect of writing, at least as per me. So when I say editing, I don't just mean editing it once and leaving it, but I actually mean editing it, re-editing it, and then re-editing it till you're actually satisfied with the final content. And finally, feedback. This doesn't mean feedback after you get published, but feedback before you can even consider going into the next step of publishing. This could come from your couple of closest family members or friends who can actually proofread your work and identify any loose ends that you might have missed, any spelling errors that you might have missed when you were editing your novel yourself, or any other such tiny aspects that could sharpen your work. There are 2 types of publishers broadly, and these are traditional publishers and self-publishers. So I've gotten my first novel published by a traditional publisher, which is Gagi Publishers, and then the second novel, Twisted, which was published by Notion Press and was self-published. So when I was getting these 2 books out to get published, I'd learned a couple of things along the way through my research. First, when it comes to traditional publishers, they're less transparent than self-publishers, and this is because the traditional publisher is the one who does the final levels of editing. He's the one who finalizes the cover photo, the author biography, the author photo, and all these little aspects that bring a book together. Whereas in self-publishing, you're responsible for all of these things. But do keep in mind that you also have the option of letting the publisher decide if you at a little extra cost. Which brings me to my next point, which is investment. When it comes to investment and returns, naturally the traditional publisher, since he assumes a lot of control and responsibility, you have lesser investment to put in, but also lesser returns. So this means there's a royalty rate in the process, which is around 6 to 10%. But also the amount of money you have to put in is almost zero. So the publisher takes care of everything. But when it comes to self-publishing, because you assume the control and responsibility of your book, naturally you have to put in money. And this is something that could range from 20,000 to 5-6 lakhs, depending on what are all the additional features that you want your self-publisher to do. So if you want them to take care of marketing, you want them to take care of editing, proofreading, all of these things, they do it, but obviously at a cost. When it comes to publishing your novel, time or your book of short stories, time is something that's a very crucial factor, and you need to decide what is the time frame that you have or you're willing to give to get your work published, because traditional publishing definitely consumes more time. It takes a lot of time for a publisher to pick up your book, to go through the entire process of editing along with the other works that they might be also simultaneously doing. And this could range anywhere from a few months to a few years, depending on how big the traditional publisher is. But when it comes to self-publishing, you can get the whole process done in less than a month, but it all depends on how fast you are, because you are responsible for it. Then when it comes to reach, if this is your first book, I would definitely recommend going with traditional publishing, because they'll help you attain the reach that you need. But when it comes to self-publishing, you're responsible for the marketing, unless you're willing to spend extra money, like I'd mentioned before. So because the publisher is already established when it comes to traditional publishing, and he's responsible for recovering especially the cost to print these books, there's more of an effort from the publisher's side to market your book. And that is something that will help you in the longer run because it helps you build a base for your next novel. A very important aspect of marketing, especially if you're a first-time writer, is your family and friends. And this is something you need to ensure that you build on. You build your personal network so that you know that you have a few people that you can depend on when you bring your work out. The next aspect is social media. Social media is naturally the most important factor, but this doesn't mean that you go around adding every stranger that you find to your Facebook, Twitter, Instagram profiles, because that is not going to help you. You need to build meaningful connections. And this can be done through joining writing pages, which are quite a few in number in Facebook. And you can exchange your thoughts with other authors, get ideas through other authors, and support them. Eventually, they'll also support you. So it's a give and take policy, and it's something that really helps. And there's so many groups and pages that you can join so that you can build your professional network. And then another thing that you can do is create your own author page, say with your name, and start building connections there so that you can have all your content put into that. And by content, I obviously mean promotional material. This could be posters with maybe a caption from your writing. This could be links. This could be the reviews that you get once your book is published. So these kind of things, when you publicize them and other people get to see them, they get more interested in what you're trying to project into the world. So this being said, another aspect is obviously, like I'd mentioned, reviews. So once your book is out, it's very important that you try to get book reviewers and also other types of reviewers to leave a comment on your sales platforms. And this could be Amazon, Flipkart, Pustak Mandi, or any other place where your books are being sold. When you choose your publisher, it's very important that you identify which platforms the publisher is going to put your book into. And this could mean both online as well as offline platforms. So just pay more attention to this aspect of publishing, because it's very important that you realize where your book is going to be so that you know how far the reach could be. To help you out, I'm going to put some links in the description box below of some of the publishers that you can approach. And what it typically means to approach a publisher is to basically go onto their website and search for a section that says that they're accepting manuscripts. If you see that section, check what their requirements are. The requirements differ from publisher to publisher, but broadly what they all ask for are cover letters, the first 3 chapters of your novel or your short stories, the plotline, the synopsis, maybe a writing resume, and a character sketch. So you need to prepare these so well that they portray how your entire work is going to be. And this means that the publisher would want to see the rest of your work just through these sample materials that you're providing. What is very important here is that you invest time, because this is the last stage. It often happens that we are so exhausted and we want to get our work across, but that we don't really care too much about what we're sending to the publisher. But this is equivalent to having all the knowledge and not being able to show it in a job interview, for example. So what is the point of that knowledge if you cannot showcase it? And this is the part where you need to showcase the talent that you have. So take that opportunity and make sure that you make the best out of it. Now, I know that this might be an information overload for some of you and that you might think this is too daunting a process to get into, but trust me, that feeling that you have when you see your book in your hands is priceless. And I don't remember all those days and months I spent working on the background part of getting my book out, but I do remember that feeling I had when I was looking at my own name in my hand in the form of a book. So if you guys want to reach out to me or tell me about your publishing journey or ask me any questions, feel free to reach out to me on my social media links down below. And as a last part of this video, I would definitely like to say happy writing, all the best, and stay tuned for more such videos.